Hello, hello. Let's just make sure everything works fine. Now that OBS has restarted again, another crash as usual. I am not impressed. I was trying to reply to Raven and it ended the video instead of actually replying for whatever reason. So I'm really not impressed, but what can you do? It's a free software, so I don't have anyone to complain to. I hope Raven sees that I'm here. And I wish... thank you very much, Raven. Kevin. The only positive thing right now is the is the fact that the names work properly on my stream as opposed to Dave. That's about it. Otherwise, it's not exactly what I was hoping for. And so, all right. So let's start this with some positive things. A, it's working. B, we have 3 DCC engines now. And C, we're gonna build a slot car track together. So you know, not a bad night overall. We'll see how it goes. So if OBS is stable for the rest of the night, we should be good. Now, with the angles, we could try to run the N scale small layout at the same time. We don't have to, but we could. That yellow house looks familiar. That house was a pre-built kit from I don't know who. That was given to me by a family member, but I know I've seen it on other people's layout. I'll go grab it and show it to you here. Actually, so that yeah, Raven, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was trying to reply to you in the chat and it ended the stream instead of replying, so there's that. But yeah, yes, you may need your sunglasses because it's actually bright. You can actually see the trains tonight, so you know, that's a good thing, I guess. So, I think that I had that house when I was at home as a kid. Possible. Like I said, this kid is older than me, and I'm 30, so that little house, well, is older than 30 years old. I don't know who made it, but that, just like the other house, the gray one with the not completed roof, like the build in progress house, that also I've seen on multiple people's layout. I'm not sure who made that kit, but it was a pre-built kit, again from the same family member. So that's where they both come from. I think it looks nice. I think it's bright. Oh yeah, Raven has the other one. So you see, it's a popular kit. I don't know who built it or where it's from, but it's been around. So since we're here, we will actually switch the train because we can, and we will enjoy the little stream. And hi, mother-in-law. Glad to see you here. And yeah, as you can see, everyone, not just you, there's a total of 6 light that's been added, all LEDs, so they really don't suck on power, and they are warm white, so they're not harsh on the eyes. But they all have been positioned for the layout. Like, it's been positioned for this. My friend, being a certified electrician, came over and helped me. It's all wired properly through the breaker panel, dedicated wires, everything. It's all set. I have two dimmer switch for two. Both layouts are independently controlled for the lights. I'll turn off the HO layout, or I can dim them because it's on a dimmer switch. And I have the N scale layout. I have both on for the live stream because all the light, as much light as you can get, will make a big difference on these cameras. They're great for many things, but low light is not their strong point. But they were $35 Canadians. Who can complain, right? The fact that I can get a decent 1080p image out of them, I'm happy with it. So yeah, let's start with the with some railroading, where we're gonna do a little swap around to run the Via Rail on the loop, because I really like that train as well, and we will enjoy it. Just give me a minute. Some kind of operation. This is some mainline operation stuff. So we will stop this one at on the bridge so that it clears the switch, so I can bring up the Via Rail into the curve of the. I actually found a name. The oval that we have is Mainline number 2, and the outer loop that isn't complete is Mainline number 1. So we will stop my F7 from CP Rail on line number 2, and then we will bring up Via Rail to be on the other side of line number 2, to then back down the CP Mini Canadian on main line number 1, and we will move the F7 freight train on main line number 1 for to be parked. So this is, I just stopped this one. We will now switch the turnout, call my Via Rail on the DC on the DCC controller, call the Via Rail, make sure it's in forward, give it some throttle, enjoy the noise. And we're letting it come to us. I do plan on adding even more cameras, but when I do this, I will need to change my computer from my laptop to my desktop for the extra USB ports and for extra power, and also set up a screen and everything so I can control better. But I do plan on doing that to have all the corners of the layout on camera. This will take a bit more time because money, and also because I'm not going to bother setting up cameras for a section of the layout that's not even complete. But that's definitely in the plans. Also, when the desktop is over here, I will also add a, how do you call this, JMRI to have Wi-Fi operations on the desktop. It'll be one unit, basically a server for this. So that's going to be great. Hello, Jeff. Happy to see you here. So yeah, this is what those are the plans for later. The first plan, though, is ordering more stuff. Mid-September, I'm going back to the train shop, meaning that I'll wait till mid-September. It's worth waiting for the discounts, well, the low prices. I don't get special discounts, I just get really low prices because it's really good customer service over there. At the semi-local train shop, it's 250 kilometers away, so 180 miles away, but it's absolutely worth the wait for tracks over there to complete this the L-shape layout. But in the meantime, I'm tempted to order something else, but I will have to discuss with the boss before doing so. There's something that I've been really wanting for a while. She knows that I've been really wanting it because it was one of the options on my Christmas list, and they had run out of stock a while back and they just restocked too. And so I will discuss with the boss about maybe getting one of the two. That there's no promise, and there's no I'm not telling you guys what it is in case you order them, all of them. So for that reason, I will have a discussion, and you may or may not see some new rolling stock within 2 weeks. Not sure. Now we will back down the CP Rail Mini Canadian. I really enjoy this type of... it's not really switching, it's just the puzzle of clearing the track for the train you want to run without taking them off the layout. Not only is it safer for the trains, because taking them off is when you break them, but also it's giving you the operation puzzles without actually having a lot of operation and coupling and uncoupling. Uncoupling can be quite finicky, so this is a great way to enjoy switching without actually having to do coupling and uncoupling. Alright, so now we will move the F unit and, well, the whole freight train out of the way. So 40, 30, call forward. We need to change the turnouts, otherwise we'll have a head-on collision, and we don't want that. You're not getting any more stuff for your layout? Well, Jeff, you are a more responsible adult than I am. I will just go ahead and say it. You are a more responsible adult than I am, because I absolutely will continue to buy stuff from my layout. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Might not be a good thing, but I don't see myself stopping. Do you guys hear the locomotive right now? I am now realizing that the camera that has that locomotive is frozen, and unfortunately you didn't see the crossover of the track. Why are you frozen? Loud and clear. Nice. Alright, so this should be good. And 720p. And this will be resized up to fill the void. There you go. Alright. Did I switch it to that? Yeah. What does responsible mean? It means you are smarter than me and you are keeping your money in your account instead of spending it on your train layout. That's what I mean by responsible. So right now, okay, I still don't understand its meaning. I honestly cannot explain it. You are... I really don't know. I really don't know how to explain this, unfortunately. But yeah. And the reason I'm backing up my F unit right now is simply because I wanna be able to see the train go through the section, the upper left, yeah, to your left, upper left camera, and it was in the way, so we moved the F units out of the way. Now, what else did I want to do? This is on a try. This is great. I wanted to work on the slot car, but not right now. I want to start the stream slowly and enjoy this a bit more. Alright, so there's that going. We have... I think it looks nice. I think it's decent, but this camera has a low frame rate and it shouldn't. Properties, frame rate. Okay. There's something wrong with this. There you go. This makes a little bit more sense. There you go. Now, I will actually go start the N scale layout and run the N scale, run a passenger train in the background as a forced perspective thing. You'll see what I mean. I don't know if you guys watched my video that I uploaded today, well, last night and published today, but hi, Caboose. But the forced perspective doesn't work as well on the live stream camera. I'll need to play with the angles more to make it work the way I want to. In person, it does a great job. So we might not see it as well as I'd like, but at least you will be able to see what I mean by forced perspective, and it'll add a bit of lighting in the background. So I'll be right back. So, I'm back. Sorry for the delay. No worries, Raven. Take your time. So, if anyone was wondering what I was doing back there for the N-scale layout, I don't even know if you could see it. I needed to clean the track for the incline going up. I noticed that when the track gets dirty, the wheel slips a little bit more. So I clean it often with my abrasive eraser, my Bright Boy, I think it's called, from Pico. And I've also noticed that if you go side to side when you clean it, it gives a rougher edge as that has more grip. If you're going with the direction of the track, the etching in it does not help with the grip, but if you go side to side, it does. So that's why I was doing some weird movements for cleaning. It's just a way to get better grip because it is a steep incline, that area. So I'm trying to help my trains to climb the hill less abruptly. Hi Rebel, glad to see you here. I'll go turn down the speed just a little bit because it's going pretty fast. Alright, so let's enjoy the trains a little bit more. Let's see how they operate. I hope you enjoy, or that you are at all able to see the... Oops! What the hell happened? How did it fall? It's done hundreds of miles. What the hell? It's done hundreds of laps without issue, and today it decided that it was an issue day. I lost my last passenger car off the track. I don't know how that happened. I actually don't. The track's fine. It's like I said, just yesterday I ran it for like an hour at even higher speed, no issue, nothing moved, nothing. It broke some... Aww. How did it fall? The windows are all popped out. I will have to work on this. Like, I understand it's going a little fast still, but it's much slower than it used to be. And I actually made sure to tilt it the other way. I made everything to prevent this other than a sidewall. And apparently that was the only thing missing. Alright, so hoping that this was my gravity tax for the stream. Hoping, anyways. Why are the windows not popping back in? It's just a clip. It really needs to clip in properly to be able to put back the bottom part, the chassis part. Oh, clipped in. I think I got it in. Yeah. Does it look right? No, it does not. It's not in on... There you go. Now it's in. Yep. There you go. Oh, the windows this side are back in. This side they stayed in. Okay. Now, I believe this is the correct side. Yes, no, the one that fell is N-scale Amtrak, so it's not the one that... The Via Rail that's running right now that you can see clearly, that's the one I got for Christmas. And that one's working fine so far, knock on wood. But the one that fell is an Amtrak. One of my first passenger cars that I bought separately, actually. 2 of the ladders broke off of this, of course, because I can't have anything nice. But that's a problem for another day. Alright, let's have a second try at it. And see. Hi, Great Northern. Hi, Greg, actually. I'm gonna try to find... I do have it right there. I have some plexiglass. Do I have anything to cut it so I can make the retention walls on the side? I have a Dremel, but that's very noisy. And a little messy. Yeah, the plexiglass itself would be a great idea. The only question is, do I have... Would that be a good time to cut it with a Dremel? Because it's very noisy. Or if I use a handsaw, it's going to take a while. I don't want to stop it, but I'm always worried that it's going to fall now. Like I said, the one time it fell. It's the first time it fell at that spot since I've built it. And I've used that train more often than most other trains, simply because it's all lit. And I like the lights on the city. So, hi Clintonville. We might stop that train for tonight because I don't want any other incident, and the plexiglass must be the only way to go. So that might be what we end up doing. So the unfortunate part is we won't be running the N scale in the background for the rest of the night, but the fortunate part is I don't want to... It's just to prevent more damage. Hi, yes, Clintonville. One of my passenger cars just fell off my N scale layout for the first time. I've had a few derailments from that car, but in other parts where it only fell on the track, today it just sent itself on the floor. This is why I'm currently happy that my main line, my second main line that's currently available on my available and complete on my HO scale layout is inside. That way, if it falls, it stays on the table. So there's that. And usually that's when you don't have problem. It's when having a problem is not a problem. Just like there's multiple places that if it falls over, it's fine. The one spot that isn't fine, that's where it fell. So that's usually how it goes. But let's be positive. Let's have fun. So we're gonna build, well, we're gonna try to build a slot car track that makes sense. Sounds easy, but when I compile everything I want in the space that I have, it's suddenly not as easy, quite frankly. So let's yeah, sure, Clintonville. If you never have a problem, that means you never run your trains. That's all it means. So, before I start the construction, the playing around with slot car. Hi, Russ. Glad to see you here. Before I start, do you guys want me to change to another train, or do you want me to keep the V-rail on? As you probably know, there's only one loop, so I can only run one train at a time. But at least, are you guys and gals satisfied with the train that's currently running, or you'd prefer another one? I left my house for a half hour. You like them? Perfect, Greg. We'll keep it then. And see, Clintonville, I might not be as OCD as you, but I take pride in my track work. And I've had pretty good success. Not the last stream, but my longest stream I've done. At one point, I left the layout with a train running for 45 minutes without an issue. But today, it decided to throw itself off the layout. So, I don't know. Alright, so then, since Greg says he likes what's running, we will keep it for a little longer and start working on the slot car track. That means I'll still be on camera. Not this one, but on camera. And I may not see the chat right away. I'll come back to reply to the chat. I will also turn around my mic so you guys can hear me better from over there. Alright, so the sound shouldn't be too bad. Hello. It's not as good as portable mics like Dave has, which is the next sound purchase, but that's not going to come for a while. I'm going to do a lot more stuff on the layout before buying those, but I will eventually. Don't worry about that. I really like the Rhodes portable mic. They sound great. They work great. He has a model that only plugs to a phone. I haven't checked out Rhodes, all of Rhodes products. I'll try to find one that connects directly to a computer just to avoid the charge issue. But otherwise, I would be very happy with that setup. And if I have to connect it to a phone, I'll do it. I'll work with the phone. We will dismantle more stuff. Sorry. I'm gonna go see the chat because I haven't been in a while. I get so in the zone, which is a good and a bad thing. Alright, let's see what I ignored. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'm wondering if I could find a bus in Hot Wheels and I could fit the body on a slot car. I'm sure that's doable because I need a slot car chassis, otherwise it won't do the jump. But the bus, if it's in metal, like if it's a die cast, is going to be very heavy. I'm sure it's possible. It's just I'll have to do some basement engineering for that one. That's how I'll say that. It's gonna be a little difficult. Hi, browser. I'm currently working on building the slot car track, so I'll be in and out for the chat. I'm trying my best. I'm sorry. I'll try something. It's too bright? Yeah, sure. If it's too bright, that's good. And the mouse didn't cause a camera freeze. Yep, I did. Should be back. Yep, it is. This one's fine, this one's fine, this one's fine. Perfect. If anyone's wondering what I'm doing off camera, I'm trying to set up a screen on my desktop with the live chat so I can see what you guys are saying from the computer. Yeah, you can see all my dust. Well, I'd rather that you see my dust that you can't see at all. If I have to choose, at least you can see. Yes, they are, Rouser. This one and this one are the new cameras. Wow, this one has a slight delay, but it's okay. It's probably my laptop working hard. I'll give it a chance. But yeah, these two cameras are the new cameras, and these are the $37 camera that Dave showed. I actually ordered them the exact same night that he showed them online because I wasn't missing a deal. I don't know how clear the sound is, but now I can see the chat, which is already an improvement. Sweet, nice. Awesome. I'm seeing the chat properly. You guys are hearing me properly. I can actually build confidently knowing that everything's fine. Cool. Alright. Now, I'm gonna put some... I just realized I don't have a door. I did have a door for this. I lost the door. That's a good band that I just lost. Oh well, I'll fix it and I did it. I'll see if I can find the door on my layout or if I completely lost it. I may have vacuumed it and thrown it out when I was cleaning the table earlier. Oh well, it happens. So let's, you know what? Let's not show the missing door. I'm really annoyed by this. That is sad. Is this? Yeah, that's too close. Okay, so that doesn't work. Both houses will have to be inside of the track. Let's put them this way. That makes sense, actually. Yep, I like it. Alright. This is going to be at the corner for the two tracks that are going to connect somewhere else. I was rewatching a previous video I did, and turns out I can put a curve right after the landing of the jump, so I may do that to make sure it works. I'm not sure how, but I'm gonna try. So the stream seems to be working fine. So what else did you guys say? Have to zoom a little bit more. Let's stick with you. Well, that's good to know. It's Rebel that said that. Yeah, good to know. I will take note for the for sale sign trick. It is absolutely, what's the word? Appreciated for the information. And Raven, you don't have to stay up for long. I appreciate you coming in at all. I didn't know it was this late. I'm assuming you're in Europe. If it's 4 a.m. for you. And thank you for coming. Enjoy the live stream. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. I know it wasn't much, but it's what you get for being so far. And let us know when you're available. Actually. that on perfectly. So this is the only thing I don't enjoy about slot cars is since it's now so low production, tracks are getting very expensive, unfortunately. And I wanted some tighter radius curve and some straight pieces that were 6 inches, so literally 6 inches radius and 6 inches straight to fit a city better. And they're now asking $24 Canadian for 2 piece of each, which is ridiculous for the amount of tracks you're getting. So I'm not buying them, but I'm very disappointed because I really wanted them on the layout. It's unless I see a really good bargain, I guess I'm not buying any of those. But yeah, the 6 inches would have helped. For the radius, I was thinking here I could have a tighter radius to have a street with houses on both sides. 6 inch straight would fit directly there. I do have some 3 inch straights, but I'm gonna take 2 of the 3 I have for this part, which to me doesn't make sense, and I'm using most of it for one part if I don't know what I'm gonna do for everywhere else. So that's why I like the 6 inch pieces, but they're $24 for 2 pieces. It's ridiculous. So no, not buying it at that price. I'm gonna keep hunting for used deals on eBay because that makes no sense to me. No sense to me. Hi Dan, by the way, I didn't see you come in. Hello. Hi Dave. Thank you. I was hoping it would work nice, and clearly it works because I've gotten compliments from everyone so far, so I'm assuming it works fine. I know I'm a little bit far away from the mic, and I'm watching the chat delayed on my other screen. That is because I wanted to work on this part and my laptop screen is facing the wrong way, and while it is a laptop, it's pretty much set where it is. We'll have to revise that solution later, but for now I'm using my other computer to see the chat, so there's that, and we will keep on working on this. I really want this to work, but I'm very limited right now. So, if I can do a 15 degree, 45 degree there instead of later. I'll actually use the other one here and see where that lands me. I know I've just put a track on the track, but that's the price to pay for, and it was just temporary. It's still too wide, but now if I put this, how much space do I need? I'll do this. Does not work at all. Alright. Good to know. If I do this. does that land? Not where I need, that's for sure. I'm back to square one by doing this out. So this design is not working. We will need to revise this whole section. If I put this here, as it should, what do I need to do? I guess I could put a 12 inch there. If I do this, so my line of thought here, I need a 15 incher right there. That makes sense. A good landing spot, like so. Then I put, nope, not that one. Put this one here, like so. Put this here, like so. Now this is not working. God dang it. I'm back to square one, aren't I? Yeah, back to square one in a less fun version. Because now I'm still using 2 3-incher, but I don't have as many S-bends. Oh boy. There must be a way to make this more interesting without using all my track. This is so infuriating. Like, I understand I'm trying to do something unconventional and that it's also I'm mixing types of tracks. I have some Tyco track and some modern AFX track, which is also not optimal. The modern AFX does not well, they needed after tracks, which I do have, but I don't have a lot of, and they're not a full 3-inch. They're a weird shape. They're like 2.5 inch, which makes everything awkward in terms of spacing. So there's also that, and that downward bend. That's also a Wowzer factor, but it clearly doesn't work. So I'm gonna have to replace that whole section. But this isn't working for me. I was hoping it would, but it isn't. We will try something else. See, that's another spot where the 6 inches would work great, because right now the space I have between the space I have between my saw car track and my train track there is perfect to fit 21 inches straight, and I have 9 inches, I have 3 inches, 9 inches, and 15 inches? Yeah, 15 inches. And now it's, so I could put 2 9 inches, which takes a lot of pieces from my stuff in a 3-inch. It works, but it takes a lot. Or I can take any 15-inch and 2 3-inches, which is even worse in terms of track usage. So I guess we'll be doing the 2 9-inches with the 15, with the 3. I'm seeing some chat. Let's see what it's all about. What are you guys talking about right now? Let's go see what's up. Hi, Drew. Thank you for both Dave and Drew for sharing the love. I actually really appreciate it. I understand there's other very interesting streams, and I understand I'm streaming at the same time, but it just so happens that Monday is convenient for a lot of us. And being a working man, the Monday nights work for me. I may later change the stream night if my schedule changes, but so far it's good for here. So I'm very happy to have you guys here, guys and gals, by the way, in the stream. So thank you all. Alright, so this could be interesting. I will have to move this, but that's okay. I have no problem redoing this part. If this works great. This would mean a house on this side, which sounds weird to block the view, but it's, first of all, it's not blocking the view from the other point of view, and second of all, it's, I like to have houses on both sides simply because it's more realistic. Rarely it's very rare that you'll see houses only on one side of a road. So, you know, as simple as it sounds, or as stupid as it sounds, I like this idea a lot. And if it makes the curve and the downslope smooth, I will not say no. Like so, and then I could put the 15-incher here, and the 9-incher curve, 9-inch radius curve right here. Like so. Actually, I'm gonna switch this around. I want the squeeze track above the, as if it was a bridge, so that way it'll be more fun and interactive because it's a squeeze track, but also more, how do I say this, more realistic because bridges are usually narrower. So I think it's time for a change. The V-Rail was really fun, but I want to bring the CP Rail passenger train, so I'm going to go switch that around and be right back. Hi, August. So, funny story. Oops. It may seem as if it is nicer, even nicer for me, but it's actually the other way around. I'm gonna bring the mic around and talk at a regular volume level. So it is nicer for me right now, but the bigger difference is on camera. It actually is a bigger difference on camera than in person. And the reason is simple. The cameras were just really bad at capturing low light. So even at a good amount of light for me, it was still very dim for cameras. So it is actually a bigger difference on camera than in person. I'm glad it works great on camera because I do intend to do a lot more live streams and a lot more videos. But it makes a bigger difference on video than on in person. So let's see if I'm missing anything. Thank you, Raven, for enjoying this. I feel like I'm missing. Sound is great. Thank you. I'm trying to make sense in terms of volume when I mean speaking, and also ambient sounds. I'm using a single stand mic, which actually was a great investment. Sounds great. Actually looks decent for what a mic is. Tuber mics, tube lights would have probably were. You are correct, but the difference in price and the results with this and the lighting color was three things that affected my choice. Sorry. So yeah, as I was saying, the tube lights were a lot more expensive. We're talking these were $5 a piece. The tube lights were $55 a piece. Also, these are warm white, which I much prefer over the bright white or bluish white that the tube lights that I had available were. And so these were the two. And the third one, what was the third thing I said? Well, it was easier to place them around because 6 round lights like this works great. So these are all LEDs still in there, so they're not hard on power. They're very, very cheap on power, but they still look good and they work great. Like I said, I'm very happy with it, so I'm gonna. And you guys are clearly enjoying the nicer lighting because it is much brighter on camera and it's much easier to see. So I do have to admit, even for myself, that it is a much bigger difference for me as a YouTuber, not as much as a modeler in person. Will it stop on time? Yes, it will. These momentum slowdowns are just so good. It's so nice to see and so fun. Locals 1801. Yeah, I tried playing with the color tone of that one. That's the laptop's integrated camera. I was not able to get it back to proper color tone, but since it's the only one and is the one I care the least about, because I don't think you guys are here to view my face, you're here to view the trains, I figured it was good enough. Well, all the cameras except the one on me and the top camera, the one right below me in the screen, are all the Nexigo that Dave recommended, which look great as long as there's good lighting, which there is now. But the one on me is the laptop's integrated webcam, which was never great in the first place. And the one on top is an old Microsoft one that's still. No, I am not naturally yellow, unfortunately, I guess. I don't know. I feel like any sort of yellow jokes I'm gonna make are either gonna be piss related or not okay. So we're just not gonna make jokes about yellow related stuff. But no, I am not naturally yellow, or nor is the rest of the room. Actually, everything looks yellow or green. While the walls are technically green, they're not that shade of green, and the rest is not yellow. So, I'm gonna wait. Loco. Flip the switch. Yeah, you know, I'm not trying to cause any harm to anyone, so I'm just not gonna talk for that one. Well, Dave, I tried before the stream. Regardless of what I did, that camera just does not want to cooperate. And again, because every single one of them were yellow, and I changed the white balance of every single one of them, and clearly I've fixed every other one, but that one just is not cooperating. So I was not lazy, I just have poor equipment, and only one camera being bad and the one that's not on trains, I'm okay with it. Still a lazy one, but just not this time. Sickum Palumpa, yeah. You see, that joke's fine. That joke's fine. If anyone watched Rick and Morty, I was the piss man, but I'm not the piss man. It's just I look like him right now. That's fine. Alright, so we're gonna back off and mute that VRL engine and run the E-unit. Will your camera take a filter? Physically, no. I could probably set one online on the software side, but I don't know how it'll look. You are not wrong. You're probably right. That's probably what's screwing it up, the light bulb in it. Let's see if I turn it off, if it helps. Well, I'm still yellow. I'm actually more green and gray now. Probably I could play with the setting this time, but I'll just turn it back on and enjoy the rest. It really did not affect the rest of the stream though. I might leave it off. It's okay. Thank you. They say dress to impress or dress for the job you want, not the job you have. I guess I could do that. Fistman is not the words I said, but I don't know how many times I can say the proper words. Let's just say watch Rick and Morty in the later seasons. You'll understand where I'm going with this. And turn off the engine's noises. Function. There you go. Alright, so this one's not going to be making any more noise. Turnouts are set. And now I can recall my other loco. So, one loco, move forward. It's also not something I would Google too hard, Rouser, Fistman. I feel the results are not going to be what you think, and I'd rather not. You got some new sprinkles for your coal loads for tomorrow. So you sprinkled on your coal loads? Good to know. Dave likes to sprinkle his load. Let's take a note of that sentence. Alright, so we will resume the slot car track building, and what will probably happen for the slot car track is I will have something I'm not 100% happy with, but enough to run. We will run a few cars on it and call it a day. That's usually how it goes when I do this. So Wow, you have a filthy... I didn't say anything filthy. If you interpreted something filthy out of this, that's on you, not on me. I don't know what you're looking for, Dave. I really don't know. I understand why, Rebel. I understand. Probably then. But I like the yellowish. I find them a lot less harsh on the eyes. And other than the one on my face, I've been pretty able to balance it on software. So I'll keep it as is, honestly. I'll try to play with my camera now that I have turned off the light behind me. See if I can make something different. So if I reduce this, bring this up, because I do have lights in front of me. Saturation, how much saturation do I need? That is black and white. That is colored. Hue. I feel like there's a sweet spot in the hue and it's very hard to find. Let's put it there and alright, white balance temperature. Let's put it at 0. This is way too blue. This is black and white, but not green, I guess. So we could put it at that and call it a day. Alright, so now I'm black and white. Take off the cars with the blue stripes. Yes, I did. Well, didn't take them off fully. They're parked down. I swapped trains simply because I wanted to change. The VIA rails are parked now, and I took out the CP rail, which it's not a big change, but it's a subtle change because it went from blue to orange. The engine's a bigger change, but the passenger cars are pretty similar. Well, they actually are both Bud stainless steel cars, just one is CP rail for the previous generation. Thank you. So let's resume working on the slot car track and see where I'm gonna go in with this. I have no idea what's gonna happen with it. I might not even use the jump this time around. It's still gonna stay there, but it might just not be used. You look like an old-time movie now. Well, it's better than looking like I have some kidney problems. So, I'll take it. Yes and no. Oh, I forgot to turn the light. Alright, so if I leave it as is, the track alignment is great for the straight part, but the length is wrong. And I don't have a 4.5 inch piece because that doesn't exist. So that doesn't work. I might be in trouble. Am I a Taylor Swift song? Because I feel like I'm in trouble. can't fit that there because I could move this, I guess. Like so. Alright, so this sort of makes sense. Let's turn this around like so. And now I could put the houses, because they won't fit there, here, and here, question mark. And I'm not liking that. This doesn't fit here, does it? No, it does not. Is this narrower? If this one fits there, oh, it does. Okay, well that one's not too bad, I guess. I wanted to see the front of it, but it's still nice from the back. Some people are more front, some people are more back. Oh right, this one lost its door, and I have no idea what happened to it, so there's that as well. Who would want to build there? So let's put that this way so we can see this one. Now, what can I do for this area? I'm very sad that I lost the door. Yeah. Well, if it's cured, I'm not going to go to see a doctor. It's cured, right? You don't need to fix a problem that's cured. You only go when you're sick, not when you're cured. You're cured. I don't know. Maybe you guys are acting differently, but I only go if I'm sick. I always end up in the same spot of the length there. This might not work the way I wanted to. I do have another plan. Let me try something else. Sometimes your previous ideas weren't bad, they were just not completed yet. And I may have a solution to my problem. If not a solution, but an idea that could fix my problem. Where am I? So this there, but if this is up there, it will fit under so. Now I can put this and the T section that I desperately want. Don't worry, these are not staying there. It's just this one that's going there. Alright, so, is it aligned? Almost. What could I make that it is more than almost? Oh boy. Now that is a good question. What could I do to make it not the way it is right now? I feel like 12-inch curves are gonna help. Which I've put somewhere else. Up there. So there's one here. And there must be another one somewhere because I have 4 and only 2 are in use. Well, 3 now. Where did I put the 4th one? It has to be somewhere here. So not, because I saw it earlier. Is it in the box now? Probably. Got it. Alright, so what is the stream saying? So no, I cannot do this because it's pushing me too far up that way. Oh, the screen of the chat turned off. I'll be right back. Maybe the issue was not that it was too close. It was not, maybe the issue I need to make it further away. Again, if I do this, it'll be too far that way. It really needs to be a 90 here. Otherwise I won't be able to fit a curve back there. How much rework do I need if I want to do this? So this is a straight that's going to be useful very soon. Okay, this works, and could possibly, quite possibly work. I'm going to use a squeeze here because they're fun and simple. I really don't know what happened to the house door. I cannot seem to see it anywhere on the layout, so it probably is in the vacuum and gone. That's unfortunate. I'll use Rebel's trick with the for sale sign. That seems to work great, so don't see why I wouldn't use a good trick. So this works, but it goes against what I wanted to do. I am now realizing that this doesn't work for what I want to do. Because if I'm using this is the track that's going to have the jump. Otherwise I can't use that. Because I'm going to have two tracks and both are not going to work. Oh, hi Colleen! Alright, so let's catch up on the chat. Yeah, Rebel, that's the problem. I've been thinking more and more about building one myself. I've seen people do them with re-railer tracks and regular straight pieces of track for stock car track. So what I'm thinking of, it's buying some used stuff for cheap online or in person and just cut them up and try to make them work. But I think I'm missing the part. Rebel, if you find one locally, buy it because those sellers are crazy. I know a lot of people would buy it off of you for more than what you paid if you can find one for cheap locally. I've been trying to look locally and I haven't been lucky, but if you find one, buy it. Just buy it. This seems to be a good idea, just poorly executed. Which is fine by me, that means there's ways to make it better. So for anyone wondering, right now I'm slightly moving my pre-attached, well not pre-attached, but when I had attached previously, slightly further back and to the left of my layout, because that would allow me to fit even longer straight going down there, and that could allow me to fit what I need, my stuff properly. It's not a guarantee, but it looks promising, honestly. Any extra fraction of an inch that I can get, I will. Because we all know every fraction of an inch can make a big difference. Who never looked at their layout and said, I wish I had an extra inch? If someone never said that, please raise your hand and explain to us why you keep lying about that. Hi, Jim. What? Oh, sorry. I was missing quite a few messages. Just give me a sec. Alright, so for the questions I have, thank you so I'm sorry I missed a lot of your messages. I'm gonna go through it. So I actually missed from where Jim came in. So yes, make one. I actually plan on doing that. I already have one for my own trackage, so I always look for others. Yeah, it's not a bad thing, Rebel. So I will do my best to make one. Like I said, the biggest problem with making one for me is the price of the slot car track that I will cut up. They've gone up so much for whatever reason recently, the past few years. So that's the unfortunate part. I'll try to buy them used to save a few dollars. Okay. If you do find one under $25 US and you can send me for another 20 US or less, I will buy it off of you, Rebel. Just straight up. Thank you very much, Dave, for the compliment on the CP set. It actually is the same Concours, but the orange Pachman logo for the car that you got from Holly DeBan, and these logos were a IHC pair, one dummy, one powered, E8 units. Fun fact: one of them is numbered wrong. The 1801 did exist, but not in that scheme. It was wrecked in the 60s before it even got that scheme. So it was supposed to be 1800 and 1802, and IHC messed up and put 1801, and I don't feel like renumbering it. So that's where I am. I do agree. These meet and greet videos were great. Colleen, you are right. I did watch them, and made me miss and wish I was there. A little bit of a long drive, but I saw some people from Australia and BC, so apparently that's not an excuse. What's the brand of track you use? So I'm doing a mix. There's AutoWorld and AFX Modern. Both have the same connectors, so that doesn't matter. And I also have Tyco and Tyco Pro that I could use. I would prefer regular Tyco. Tyco Pro breaks off all the time, so that's not great. And I'm sure I could find adapter tracks if I only find a railroad crossing in another type. But if I do find it, if I do need to do that, that's going to be another thing to work on. What's my my? That is an amazing find. A coffee can worth of couplers. That is an amazing. Use a heat gun. Yeah, since I'm not sold on the plan, I'm not doing anything permanent like that. Alright, have a good one, Raven. Good luck with work. This coming weekend, I'll be with a few vintage. Thank you very much, Rebel. I highly appreciate it. If you do find one, send me an email. That's in my description. You should be able to reach me out there. I don't get notification even though I set up 2 on it, so I'll need to refresh it. Maybe put a comment on one of my YouTube videos so to check my emails. But I will definitely pay forward for it because I've been looking. I know that the last run of Railroad Crossing was from Lifelike right after Walters bought them. They did a batch and sold them for $15 US in hobby shops. And some hobby shops that don't have a website probably still have them in the back somewhere. But those are incredibly hard to find. So if you do find them, great. And I don't know what type of connector these Lifelike were, but I can find out and find an adapter track for sure. So that's not too much of a problem. But don't worry about it. If you don't find anything, I really don't want you to stress about it. It's just if you do happen to find one. Alright, so since I'm caught up on the chat, I'll go back to trying to play some track and see what I can do from there. Right, now that I moved it, oh, I need to move my So the brain that I am, I should have known this, but somehow I completely missed the mark. If I move the track somewhere, it moves where it ends. So now this is not aligning again. That is... Whew. You know what? If you do find one, Rebel, I still want it. But what's gonna end up happening is the day I decide to go ahead and make one, I will make a railroad crossing there where the jump is, and that railroad crossing will go with whatever fits for track here, and the jump will be moved somewhere else. Since I can't seem to align anything with it, I'm gonna make one very custom piece that's gonna work perfectly for that exact spot and call it a day. I think that's the soundest plan that I've had so far, because otherwise it's been nothing but trouble. Because if you think about it, I don't even want to think about it anymore. I just want a track that works and that makes sense. A track that I can actually use the houses on and be happy with it. How is that such a big ask? I don't know, but apparently it is. But I really think that changing my my plan to not account for the jump, and just planning to build a custom railroad crossing for exactly where everything lines up is a better sounder plan. Like I'm more likely to be happy with the results if I do that. I'll just do that. When I say just, it's not going to be as easy as I make it sound, but at least I'll have something. Is Clintonville leaving? Good night, Clintonville. Thank you for coming. This. I'm really uncertain of what I want to do. It's so many possibilities, so little results from me. I'm starting to think that this entire slot car track section is what's causing the issue, because ever since I put it there, I've always loved the look but hated everything else that I've done around it. So I'm thinking of ripping the entire section there apart. I can always keep it for non-slot cars and just have something there, but this has been more of a problem than a solution. I'm keeping the wood there, but I don't think I'll be keeping the track there. And if that solves my creativity issue, well, good. Good, good, good. There you go. This doesn't exist. Can't be problematic if it doesn't exist, right? What's nice with YouTube is I get to rewatch. This sounds bad saying that I rewatch my own videos, but it's not because I find myself interesting, it's because I find my trains interesting. And I've changed my slot car track often, like a lot. and I don't always remember the designs I did, but I remembered enjoying them. So being able to go back to previous videos to see the track plan I had allows me to see if I could remake it or make a variant of it that would work with my layout, right? So having pictures and videos of what you've done is always a great thing. I upload it to YouTube, so it's even you guys can also enjoy it. But I would recommend, even if you guys aren't interested in being on YouTube, to take a lot of pictures of everything you've done, even if it's the starting phase or the just an idea phase, because if you change it and then want to go back, you'll have something to go along to. Yeah, that is also a way to do so, to give up. One of my friends once told me, failure is always an option. If it doesn't work, just fail. Just accept it. It's fine. And so far, it's not been a bad advice. If anything, it made me more confident that worst case I'm failing. Right? Worst case, I'll just change my plan. So now that this is clear and that I'm not using this, I'm already having some new ideas. Like making the jump, moving the jump here, with the curves too tight there, I need to be sideways. Okay, that doesn't work. I mean, there's another type of jump. No, it still wouldn't work. Because this is a big and a small area. It could be viewed in both ways. It's big in square inches, but slot car tracks takes a lot of space, so it's not that big. Now, how do I want to go about... Oh, the screen turned off. Yeah, Russ, you're not wrong. It is a part of success. I mean, so realizing that you can and accepting that you should are two very different things. I know I can redo a lot of stuff, but sometimes I just don't want to because I put in a lot of work. And even though it's not what I wanted, it was a lot of time, and you might not be unsatisfied, you might just be not fully satisfied, which is two very different things. So this one fit. Exactly, Colleen. Finish is better than perfect. That I also very much agree with you. Alright, so this fit here. Oh, another unfortunate part of slot cars, the curves are only 45 or 90 degrees, so 30 and 60 degrees is not an option. And that means that either everything is crooked or everything is very straight. There's no slightly crooked or stuff like that. There's HO Trains and Slot Cars on YouTube that he has a great slot car layout with the train, with a train running through it. I tried to get inspired by his layout. Unfortunately, I cannot make it work for me. Not that any of his ideas are bad, they're actually really good. I just cannot make it fit the way I want mine to be. I'm just really picky, honestly. I'm really picky on how I want my layout to look, and I am finding out that it's I'm not helping myself right now. Like I'm creating myself a lot of trouble. So trouble and headaches of trying to make it work. It shouldn't be this complicated. It should just be fun. But I've been obsessing over making the perfect track on this, and it hasn't been a successful venture. What I had in mind seemed so simple. I just wanted a small street, a small residential area with a few houses, with the track going through it, and I wanted another area that had a few more urbanized buildings like this tower, and also have the track go through, which apparently is more difficult to set up. The rate, quite annoying with this, but the curve radius really does make a difference. Like this slot car curve radius, it takes not enough space to be a beautiful wide curve, but a lot of space so that it's annoying to. It takes a lot of space to do the turn, which makes it more realistic because most street turns are very sharp, are not sharp. Sorry. So I guess that's the positive side of this, but not having proper curves is annoying. Oh, this track's getting dirty. I should clean it up before I'm having some connectivity issue. I mean, I have been running that train, trains in general for a while without cleaning on this track, which I'm happy I do, because that means I'm happy with the track itself. But unfortunately, dirty track can be problematic. This is pretty complete. Yeah, this is fine. Alright, so. What is Russ saying? A lot of compromise on layout. Yeah, it is. Well, I wish you success with that, Russ. Take your time. I know I'm like Dave, where I'm too eager to run trains, so sometimes I rush stuff, and that's entirely on me. But for the most part, I think I've been pretty good at building properly. But take your time, do it properly. It'll be a lot more rewarding later. I have a hard time waiting for my not running trains. So we're gonna do a little switch up. We're gonna bring back the freight F unit because I want to, and I am too patient. Well, that's a good thing. too patient is not a thing. You are very patient, and that's a great thing. What time is it? It's 9:30? Okay. So 2 hours in. We'll be, Alright, I stopped a little late. I'll reverse it a bit. There you go. Alright, Rouser, thank you for coming. It was nice seeing you. We will catch you on another stream, and have a nice night. And we are on the track on main number 2. Flip the turnouts. And recall one. Reverse. Send it down the hill so we can free up main 2. And now we will stop it, send it for recall. Alright, so that stopped there. So it's not in the way of anything. It looks good on camera, but it's not. It's not in the way, but it's in the shot on camera. Actually, I'll move it forward to the bridge because I like the bridge. There you go. It's on the bridge. We can partially see it in one cam, and we can enjoy the rest for the rest of the evening. I mean, we're not just gonna run that one for the rest of the evening. It was just an idiom, but yeah. All right. Did I see some dirty track? Yes, I did. There you go. Practice me. All right, let's look at this and think of how I can rearrange this so that it makes sense. I think I have enough to enjoy and that I should absolutely be happy with what I have. So I know I can make something work. I'm trying to do something so great and so perfect that I'm forgetting that I can just make it small and simple and still have fun. And I think that's where I'm having issues. It's just accepting the fact that I can do something simple and still have fun. And it's not even like, how do I say this properly? It's not that I don't understand I can make something simple and have fun. It's that I'm trying to get something so great that I don't know, I'm just repeating myself at this point. I'll move on. It's so here we're, oh, that's good. It's probably better that way. Keep not listening, Jim. That's probably better for your mental health. So this would need to move, but that's okay with me. If it means I can do something cool. Or I can just not do what I thought and have it simpler. I'll just have it simpler for now. Again, I don't need something insane, I just need something fun. Need to remind myself that. This doesn't look bad. 3 inch longer. What's that track? That's a 3-inch U-turn. I always, well, I really want to use it somewhere. I thought it was an exciting part of the track. And when I say exciting, I don't mean like, it just requires a bit more driving skills, which I've proven times and times again that I don't have, but still. Here it is. I'm going to show it to you. So, if I do this, and then this. This is also another track that is restricted, I guess, in terms of the usage, because it has the because my trucks cannot run on it. If I put it here, this is impossible, but that's not a 12 inch, that's a 9 inch. Boy, okay. Now this makes more sense. So, need my other 12 inch to complete that curve, which I just had right there. Like so. Oh, it's a hairpin. That's the name of the track. A hairpin. Actually, I could have something even more extreme and have a crossover. Right here. Let's go nuts. Let's go completely crazy. You know what? Different type of completely crazy. So this works, technically, in theory. This would work. Wouldn't need anything special here. Not that I'm not special. So, this with this, like so. It was a little in the way, but it's acceptable. I could make actually this. See, sometimes when you start over, you do get inspired would be the word. I am actually I think I found something that I like. Finally. I will not be using the crossover. I will be using this squeeze because that works better for me. I'm trying to have a balanced left turn, right turn for each lane because if you expand from a figure 8, that's what it does. Simply because I don't want the unfair advantages to either track. Good night, Rebel. Thank you for coming. It was appreciated. And Russ, I mean, I do believe you can run trains if you have tracks laid down. You don't have to. If you're okay with it, it's your trains and your layout. You do whatever you want. But I'm not stopping myself, as you can see. And neither is Dave. Most of us actually are not waiting. You are just a very patient person, which hats off to you for that. The other option here would be to move this further away that way, like so, but bring the hairpin closer here. Which also works, and it works in my favor for this. Does it? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Will this work for me? There's only one way to find out. Can I fit one of the houses here? That would be an interesting spot to build a house. And it does, kind of. Yeah, it's close, but it does fit. As long as I don't have too many wide loads. It should work. But I was thinking more cityscape for here. Oh. Let's say this right here, like so. This works. This works very well, actually. Yeah, I prefer this. It's good. That is good. That is very good. That is very good. Yes. Indeed, very good. That is something I did not expect, actually, running your trains on a rolling road. I mean, if you have tracks laid down, if you want to hear them move and make sure that they stretch their leg, that makes sense. But if you have track and it's powered, nothing stops you from putting it on track. You know, you do you, but I would. But I'm not here to convince you. Again, your layout, your rules. So if you want to do it that way, I should not tell you what to do. I don't know how I always get stuck back where I was. Like, I'm starting to believe I'm bad at this. Huh. So there's the double-edged sword of having a train track that goes through the middle part. The upside is you can do a lot more interaction with it, where you can have the jump, you can have bridges over, you can have a railroad crossing if you find one that works. But the downside is it really takes a big chunk of the space you have, and that's not as nice, unfortunately. But I do have the option to do this. Let's start with something very basic, a figure eight. If I can make a figure eight work in the space, I can extend from there. What is Russ saying? That makes sense. I mean, if you're now moving stuff, I don't expect you to actually run stuff on, nothing. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Alright, so how is the stream going? Is there still anyone watching? Yeah, there's people. Okay, there's that. I was wondering if I was completely alone at that point, which I wouldn't blame anyone, but it would have been a possibility. So let's start with a figure eight, a very simple figure eight. I think that's a good start. And that one will be the trucking area. Yeah, it will. Because it'll be the animated part of the layout, which I think makes sense. I'll put it at a 45-degree angle, simply to add a bit of asymmetry, because 90 degree with everything else being 90 degree would be too symmetrical. Thank you, Kali. Oh, hi. I always forget how to pronounce your name. I don't remember by heart. 8-5741 Productions. Notes on eating snacks and drinking your beer. I don't have a beer tonight. Wait, right, it's your beer in my training room. That makes sense. So I might end up removing the middle track at this point. I do like it, I do like the idea, but if I have a hard time fitting a simple figure 8, might not be the optimal configuration. It may not be the optimal configuration if it prevents me from doing a basic oval, quite frankly. Yep, I think the crossover track's gotta go. Oh well, it was a nice idea. It's sad because I actually liked it, but at the same time, I can't do a basic oval because of it. Not oval, figure 8. This is quite annoying. I really liked it. At the same time, I did not. Like, I love the concept, and I love not going through the middle of the table, but it's so in the way. And it shortened where I wanted to do my passenger train station enough. Maybe. Yeah, that might have to go. Sad, but I don't see any other way around. And adding tracks when you're running out of space with the amount of tracks, the minimum amount you have, does not solve my issue. Because I already have too much and I want to add more. By that I mean like doing more turns than I need. So we will so that sounds great, Russ. Actually, a digital lap counter. That sounds really fun to use. Is there room to extend the train table to get track on the outside of the train track? Yes, there is. On both sides, I could add a few inches, like 6 inches. But I would still need to either make a very special railroad crossing for both, for a 2-track railroad crossing, or Kenton. I was talking about you earlier, actually, saying that you inspired me, but now I'm unfortunately stuck. But yeah, I could extend it, but if I do that, I need to have bridges on each side, which isn't the results I'm looking for. What to do, what to do. I do have another idea in mind. Oh, my mic's not the right way around. I do have another idea in mind, which is to make the center of the layout table higher, so that bridges over the train track would be easier, but then I wouldn't see my train 2/3 of the time, which is not what I want. I want to be able to see the train like a lot, so I really don't know. And for all I know, I might simply be looking at it the wrong way, and by that I mean I'm trying to make it fit at one spot when I should be trying to make it fit at the other spot of the layout, at the other side of the layout. It's a narrow, but oh man, I so don't know what I want to do about this. I really don't. Like, the idea of building an HO scale layout was to have slot cars run through them. But the problem I'm having right now is the entire 3D print risers for the track. Yeah, that is for sure in the plans later. Train overpass over the slot cars. See, I did have that idea. I would need to cut into my table, but that would be a much easier not much easier, it would be difficult to cut through the table, but it would be a solution that I actually want to do. I didn't think of doing it at that spot. I really am trying to I'm really starting to think that I'm just looking at the wrong spot for the slot car track. I might just be doing the slot car track at the wrong spot of the layout. No, I so don't know what I'm doing. Raise the track. Yes and no. It's already raised in a way. I'd have to cut. Because if you can pick up 2 or 3 cheap monitors, have the wall space to mount them, you can use cheap cameras monitor track you can't see in the middle. Yes, but yeah, yes I could. It's simpler to just see my trains than to create hidden areas and then add cameras to then watch them on a screen. Like, it would work, it's just it's just getting a lot of steps. Raise the entire track. See, that I thought about that, but then I would have to raise the entire table because there's another section of the layout that's lower. That section is raised already, technically. You'd also have more views to choose from while streaming. Yeah, I know. Right now I'm not helping my live stream by watching, and I'm realizing my camera's frozen. Properties. There you go. Okay. No, choosing this right now is not the option. I should decide and go ahead with a plan. I think I will need to cut some of the table out and just use what is currently a table as a sub-road bed and lower the slot car track. The other advantage of doing this would be that my cars can't fly out of the table like they did last time and broke into pieces, because there would be walls around the slot car track. Like, being level with the track would mean to be on the raised section of the slot car track, and I could do even a 3-layer slot car track, one that is above the trains, one that is train level and one that is lower than train level. That's not a bad idea. That's a really good idea. I think I have found a solution. A lot of cutting, but the solution is available. Oh, I'll need to redo some wiring because it's under the track right now, but that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that is fine. Yeah, well, Russ, usually the nicer layouts or nicer setups are always the ones that require the most amount of work. So if I want something that is nice and I like, I need to put the work in. I can't just look at it, put 2 or 3 pieces there, put a bit of grass down and call it a day, because that's not going to be what I want. So I definitely need to start with a plan. Yeah, I definitely need to start with a plan on paper. I think the first step will be to rip out the middle track. Because I did a few like you guys saw the tracks I've made, and the better ones were the ones where I didn't have the middle part. The jump was fun, but I barely used it. Like, I used it, but not as much as I wish, because I've been trying to work on that layout, and I do have more spots that I could put the jump, so it should be fine if I move it. But I don't want to rip that out. If anything, I want to add a turnout to it. And see, this is where I'm not sure how I want to go, because I keep flip-flopping between making it more operation oriented or more slot car oriented. It's a very hard to balance. Oh, my loco is starting to squeal, so that means it needs a break, and we will run some other trains. So we will. Yes, well, Kevin, the thing is, I wanted that if I had unlimited amount of space, right, which is not the case, the idea was to have 2 loops for slot cars, one with a jump, one without it, and the one without it would be able to run trucks, the one with it wouldn't be able to. Now, if this prevents me from using the trains the way I want them to, I will have to remove a lot of stuff. So I think that middle track's gonna go, and I will plan around not having that jump. I think I have to do that. And when I say not having that jump, I don't mean completely eliminating the idea of a jump at all. I do intend to keep it somewhere, just not there. I've been itching for a mountain in the back corner where the fountain is. I've been itching for a cityscape where the top left camera is. I wanted an industrial space where the bottom left camera is. On a trestle. Alright, have one. Have a good one, Kenton. And sorry it wasn't as interesting as it should have been. I've been brainstorming with the chat on how to go about with my layout, and I'm still at a loss. We've had some great ideas and also some problem solver, but I'm trying to judge between the amount of work versus the results, because I don't want to cut the table and then regret it. So yeah, like I said, August, if we move the jump, it's not completely removed forever, it's just moved away for now. And maybe it's just the placement. Maybe in the middle there is not the placement. Maybe I should have it at 45-degree angle, closer to the edge of the table. And I know it sounds dangerous, but if we make it jump towards the middle, it would be fine. Maybe that's just it. Maybe it's just moving that jump. I think, therefore I am. I think my problem is I'm focusing a lot on this side of the layout, which fills it a lot and a lot quicker. Maybe if I extended the layout by, I don't know, 8 inches on the other side of the layout, or even 6 inches, just enough to have the slot car track outside of the train track, I could have that backside elevated and still see my trains. That could be a good idea. Oh, I know. And well, technically there's already a part that's down that's not done building, so that's not great. I am unsure of what now. Okay, I'm making some decisions right now. I'm keeping the inner curve that goes through the middle. I really enjoy the diamond. I am very open to the idea of moving the jump somewhere else on that curve, which would make it a lot easier to because right now it's in the middle of the curve, which cuts across of everything. Yeah, I'll elevate my backside. Sure, Jim, sure. Which is probably what's making me stuck. The fact that it's in the middle. But the idea itself of having a train there, the track there is not a bad idea. I need to work around that. Alright, so I'll be moving some engines out of the way because I'm going to run some DC trains. And this is... and these are all DCC. Alright, so at least we have another nice view rail. How much clearance do you need for the train track to go over the racetrack? That question has two possible answers. If it's the trucks, I need 2 inches, I think. Yeah, 2 inches. But if it's just the cars, 1 inch. 1 inch. How about that VRL engine? That's a pretty engine. See, just removing most of my slot car tracks, see how nicer it is to see the whole train on the bottom left camera. That's what I mean by having it too busy is not necessarily nice. I really need to simplify this setup. If I could make a custom railroad crossing for that spot, it would be nicer. There's a YouTuber online called Mike's HO Trains, who what he did, which I thought was a great idea, he built his whole city static, like no racetrack, no slot cars, and he built a small slot car track as an actual racetrack. So that makes a lot of sense in so many ways. The only thing I could think of that would be hard to do here is, again, where I decide to put it, but if you did your tabletop in 2-inch foam, you could cut away where needed to go under the track. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I just don't like foam tabletop. Like, I don't like gluing. I like nailing down, and nails don't hold on foam. That's just me being picky on how I build my stuff. I prefer the sub road bed method with plywood, but that's not the way to go, clearly. So I have to make some executive decisions, and I'm not going to make them tonight. I'm going to have to sit on it and rethink it. And I'll get back to you guys on that one. In the meantime, we can still do something simple and nice, so that's what I'll do. I'll just do something simple and nice for now. I said I couldn't do a figure 8, but well, I can. Have a beer about it. Yeah, that's probably the best course of action, honestly, at this point. My other problem is I keep, I'm keeping the N scale mindset, where like how much space everything takes. Where I'm looking at a 4-foot wide table, and I'm like, wow, so much space, because in N scale, 4-foot wide is massive. But I always forget how big everything is in HO. And then when I try to fill my HO scale stuff, it doesn't end as well, quite frankly. So let's forget about all of this. Let's do something simple that's fun, and I'll go from there. Let's go from there. But that's so am I. What time is it? It's 10:30. Yeah. So my first track that I enjoyed was pretty simple. I would need to move the jump to make it work. Let's forget about the jump here. If I don't see it, I won't think about using it. Alright, so we will just pretend that this is there. So another straight go like there. So what else? Here's the chat saying. I actually have no idea on the price of the sheet, but I know I would need someone on a truck to deliver it because they don't fit in my car. So that's beside the point. Thank you, August, for the compliment on the Dia. And for the track planning software, this is another caveat. The only one that has slot cars and trains is AnyRail, and it's a very incomplete. Plus, I need to buy it because it would be a lot of pieces. Hi, Faulkner Station, Daz. I'm having a weird night where I cannot, for the life of me, do something that I enjoy. And when I say that, I mean track plan wise. Love my trains, my train tracks. I refuse to move how they're the track plan. I really like it, but slot car track planning is going a little rougher than I expected. Maybe, just maybe, my issue is I'm trying to do too much slot car track. I know I said that in the beginning, and I have not applied that logic to my plans yet, but I think that's my issue. I've been coming back around a lot to that being the issue, and I think I just need to accept that fact. That this is where I'm having issue, is because I'm trying too hard to make it happen a certain way. The things that I've done right that I've enjoyed so far was a very long straight going from here to over there. I think I figured it out. I think I have figured out my issue. And yes, I will put back what I had, but what I had that I enjoyed that I removed multiple times, I removed it because I tried to add too much. But if I don't add, and I just expand in a different way, I should be good. And yes, the jump will be included until I make myself a railroad crossing where the trucks are going to be back as soon as I have that railroad crossing. That is not stupid. That is actually a plan that makes sense. So, you are correct. This is not the final layout. I will have multiple iterations, so I can't stress too much about it. You are also correct that it will be a curved crossing in the sense that the train tracks will be curved. I've seen someone do it successfully and made one online, but never revealed how he did it. He just posted pictures of it completed and vanished. What I do know is that or you know what, maybe no jumps at all. There. Alright, so this makes sense. Let's not overthink it. Oh, I'm hiding everyone there. Oh, the train's gonna get stuck in here. Don't do that, Kevin. Don't do that. You don't want your train stuck. Alright, so that's okay. Is this enough to do a U-turn? Or is this too wide? No, okay, so this doesn't work. Fine. This needs to be a little further that way. This needs to be clipped together properly. This as well. That's good enough. Nope, this doesn't work because this then pushes my track too far out. Still too far out. Okay, can't do that. Is it me or is August always eating on my live streams? Am I just in his supper time? I'm happy that he's eating well. I'm just wondering if I'm just weirdly timed or if it's a thing. What if I did that? That takes even more space. Do I 9 inch? If I put this at 3 inch, that could be fun. That could be very fun. That could be very fun, actually. Oh, I'm missing some comments. What am I missing? That would be a great idea, for, Drew. That could be great. That's a very large book. Yeah, it is. See, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Well, so I think I have found something I quite enjoy. So currently, I would need to do a lot more that I'm not willing to do tonight because it's late. But I think I have found something I quite enjoy. Yeah. So the reason I'm saying it's going to take a lot of work, I will have to undo the middle track, not to remove entirely, but to move the jump closer to the diamond, which will allow me to have the which will allow me to run the slot car across the table in a diagonal form. And I don't know why I didn't think of this when I designed it at first. It makes sense in so many ways. Now, I'm not 100% sure about the part that I've built that you can clearly see, like the double turnaround over there, simply because it still fills a lot of the layout, and I don't want a mountain area there. I want a cityscape with less stuff. But I'm heading in the right direction. I'm definitely heading in the right direction. Moving the jump to the side here definitely improved my vision for this the mix. It allows me to keep the inner loop, the inner circle. It allows me to open up the space. It allows a lot of things, so this is good. Thank you all. Multi-level city is definitely part of the plan. I do think I will end up moving the lifted section that's right here from this side to the other side of the table, and even extend the table a little bit on the other side to have the slot car track on the outside, which will free a good portion of the table being on the outside of the track. It will be a bridge across over and a bridge coming back, and that will make the multi-level city, as you said. I am glad I inspired you some slot purchases, Russ. If my memory serves me well, you are doing some O-scale slot cars and trains with the 143 slots car and O-gauge trains. Or is it 148 slot cars? Anyways, the size between 132 and 164. Yes, nice. So that will be where I'm gonna end the slot car portion of the live stream, because I'm not dismantling my track and extending the bench work tonight. That's not happening tonight. In fact, it might not happen this week at all. I'm still not sure what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be a very temporary track for the slot cars. It's gonna be just, I don't know. I said a figure eight would work, but then I couldn't fit it. 143. Yeah, I understand, Russ. So I still don't. If I move the jump, I can do a figure eight that goes across both sides of the inner track with a bridge on the other side. Like I said, this section of wood, I don't know if I'm going to leave the wood section or move it entirely. I'm probably going to leave it and just remove the fake bridge across. And use that for scenery, not for slot cars. So that would be a plan. That could actually work. And then I'll see where it'll go. And yeah, that'll limit me, because the jump will be used. It'll limit me to cars again. Whatever. At this point, I'm okay with it. If I do the multi-level city, I can have the truck track on the back, which is going to be a very simple track. and then the fancier, longer track for racing cars. Because when you race the cars, you want them to do a big distance, because you want to have a lot of action. The trucks, if I just want to run them around in a city, I want them to come back around, since there's only 2 trucks on the, one car per slot. I want them to come around often. I'm gonna have to make it a simpler track, which I'm fine with. I've seen a lot of cities with a lot of bridges over their trains, so that would make sense. I don't see this as a problem. No, there's definitely, moving the jump will be the better way to go about it. And and then working on the bench work to accept the track being further away will also help a lot. So, well, it's almost 11 at my time. I'll end it at 11. So thank you, Russ, for this. Thank you everyone for coming. I know this was isolated loop with trucks running bidirectional. Yeah, I definitely could do that, and I can run them on a DC power supply so they just continuously run. I could completely avoid a racetrack out of it. There's a lot of things to think about for that, but a very simple isolated loop would definitely be a thing. So thank you everyone for coming. It was very nice seeing you all. I know this was it wasn't as train oriented as I wish it was, but I still think it was a good stream. I'll keep uploading videos, and I'll keep working on the layout, and we will see some progress at some point. I might even actually take a break from the HOs. I've been saying that, and then every time I say that, I get inspired to do something, which is fine. That's the whole point. If you don't see the HO scale layout for a while, don't be surprised. That just means I'm taking a break until I get inspired again. And that's okay. That's entirely okay. And I'll just work and live stream my N scale layouts, which are also nice, I think. And yeah, so for now, give the stream a like to help the channel. Leave a comment on my videos, subscribe, and for those who haven't, but most of you have, which I very much appreciate, and thank you all for this. And have a good week, and see you all on the next stream, worst case scenario, which will be next Monday. Have a good one.